somewhat wonky looking, concrete pots for my plants. I also love rearranging my apartment, making handmade cards and scrolling through Grindr for hours and hours and hours, to the point where I've lost track of what day it even is. But most of all, what I love is making funny little videos, which I then send out to the world via the modern day holy trinity: YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And these days, my funny little videos are even my full-time job. How freaking lucky am I? But it hasn't always been that way. Lady Luck and I are relatively new acquaintances, and to be honest, I still don't really know whether I fully trust the bitch. My first stroke of amazing luck, I should say up front, was being born to parents like my mum and dad. I think it was pretty clear pretty early on that young Christian Munro Hull was not going to be like all the other boys. And not just because I'm so gay that I literally came through my mother's birth canal doing jazz hands, but because I've always been just a little bit extra. If all the world's a stage, and if life's a cabaret, old chum, then I've always wanted to be the star of that show. And even though it took the rest of the world 3 decades to get the fucking memo, my family knew that pretty much from day one. And they've always been my biggest supporters and greatest fans. Hey, don't knock a captive audience. Sometimes they've all you've got. Like I said, though, the rest of the world took a little bit longer to come to its senses about me. High school was terrible, and my career in radio has had more ups and downs than a quickie blowjob in a dark alley. Sometimes it was hard to keep believing in myself and accept that I'm not everybody's, and by everybody I mostly mean management's, cup of tea. I have had times where I've just had to withdraw from the world because I couldn't find a place for myself in it. I've had times where I've doubted myself and whether I was going to make it and get the fuck out of retail. Thank God, and I cannot say this strongly enough, thank God I did. But you know what? I got to a point where I just said, fuck it. Myself is the only person I know how to be, and the only person I'm good at being. There comes a time where you just have to embrace what you've got, including the love handles and man boobs, and just force the world to accept you as you are and get it to work for you and not the other way around. And if people don't like it, well, just wave them on. So, this book is how I do me. I said do me. That's a daily ritual. How I came to be me, the maybe 1 or 2 things I love, the about 4,356 things I hate, the many things, guys, I have done, and the things I would never do again. How I've managed to still be myself in a world that hasn't always understood me. How I have done life on my terms and why I am not the least bit apologetic for it. After all, who wants to fit the fucking mold? The mold is boring. The mold is old hat. The mold needs a goddamn makeover. I say, don't just break the mold, smash it into a million pieces and then refashion it into an amazing pendant that tells people to fuck off. At the ripe old age of 33, that's what I've figured out. And while there are still many things that I have not figured out, like what the blue, then orange, and now flashing red light on my car's dashboard means, I think figuring out that life is short and you may as well just be yourself is the most important, and sometimes the hardest thing to learn. So put on a pair of trackies, pull the blinds closed, put your phone on silent, grab a Kit Kat Gold, or 5, and settle in. Welcome to the world of Christian Hull. Sorry, not sorry. Part 1. My People. 1. Love, a steamy novel and triple trouble. My family are my world, actual world. I currently live and work in Brisbane, and before that I lived in Melbourne for 6 years. My whole family lives...